I'm asking you.
The network is bad.
Oh my God. So it brings 50% impact. Is that what you're saying? All right. So let's say Grace go ahead. Why you solving the network issue? Says Grace, please go ahead.
Okay, most of the time when we talk about education in Liberia, we only focus on our kids. Maybe I'm taking it from the Liberia perspective first. Our kids scoring good grades, maybe going to school, becoming doctors, lawyer, and all of those things. The first thing is the schools do not identify the type of learning for children. That's the first thing that contributes mostly to children having problem. And most often, schools have to decide to let them go. There are different forms of learning. We have almost 4 types of learning. You cannot force me if I learn through sound to maybe sit and learn from, or maybe you just talking to me. So if you can identify as an instructor or as a school, identify the forms of learning for your children, you will not have any time to expel a child from school. The reason I say expelling children from school comes from the negative side or have more negative impact or have negative impact more is that you forget to know that that child mental health is at risk, 1. 2, most of the cause of juvenile justice come from expelling children. 3, if you expel a child, get to know that that child will not going to continue his or her education because of stigma and discrimination. 4, if you also expel a child from school, any other school that child going to, they will have low performances. Research has shown that when it comes to the academic standards. So how can you, my question now, if you're saying there's a positive impact, how can you as a teacher or as an institution that have been made to mold children or make them appear better, be the one to tell them, I gave up, I can't do it again? Do you think such a school should exist?
Okay.
For me, no.
All right.
So that's why I say they have a lot of negative impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying why you said it have about 90% negative impact. So let's speak says Veronica to tell us her own justification from her answer.
Yeah, Breakthrough, the negative, but let me talk about the negative part first and before talking about the positive. The negative part is what Gray like stated, and expelling students from the school, right? They also have mental breakdown on them based on the situation that you're going to expel that student. Before expelling that student, I guess there is a warning. That's the reason why every school should have a handbook. There are rules and regulations in that handbook. So if it's like a minor issue that you're going to like expel students, like for example, when I was in school, BWRs, right? And everybody know like BWRs dress cool. Their uniform that they can wear. So what my teachers were trying, one of my teachers were trying to tell me not to do certain things, and he hit me with a cane. They were asking, oh, I got angry to the extent that I couldn't stand it because everybody know that BWRs that dress, if you wear that dress, you can see they mark your under saying no mark and stuff like that. So I got angry to the extent that I went to a certain extreme that things I'm supposed to say that I say things I'm supposed to do. So at that point, when we went to the principal office, and she looked at the situation on ground, and there are times you may not tell the teacher in the teacher face that okay, you wrong the student, because if you're telling that teacher, you're making the student will be rude on the teacher. In some cases, right? So they apologized to me when the teacher left. He said, you wrong the girl, what you did. So that he was thinking they should expel me because I went extra mile all a temper. And they won't say no. There are things who will expel students, there are things who will not, because this situation is very like you wrong totally, but we cannot say it in front of the girl at that point. So we just have to apologize and tell her to go and take her test. So if that point they were going to expel me, I want to have a breakdown because why he did, he was wrong because the handbook said that no teacher should use cane on student. I want to get breakdown and stuff like that. Because I wanted to like what the essence of going to school like Great Redford said, right? Now let's come to the positive side of the matter. Your and teachers tell you that, or your principal in a handbook, do not carry sharp object. I know a school that the principal is so hard to the extent that he said nobody should carry sharp object, and there are things you don't do in school. The boy and friend were fighting, and he used the pen, he stabbed a friend. Now, because his father was a big person and stuff like that, so that kid is just Mako it left like that. You see on Facebook right now, one of Liberian schools that you see the girl like having sexual intercourse, she kissing in the classroom, smoking and stuff like that. And before like school take a step, I guess that they can warn you for the first time because my school I graduated from, they warn you for the first time, the second time, and you doing like that and putting it on social media, which of course you know, if you start their process and the school not take a thing right, the first, the second time, other students will join you. They say, but when if I think the other student XYZ can do it, then what they think I cannot do mine. Because when XYZ did it, there was nothing like no like punishment went on and stuff like that. You're spoiling your school reputation. And right now, social media is open. There are students doing things what they're not supposed to do, kissing in class, smoking, putting on social media. Every school have a handbook. If that student, the first time you warn them, the second time you warn them, because you don't want them to have breakdown, mental breakdown, right? And you don't want the society to neglect them. But as you keep on warning them to the extent that other students too will follow that student because they feel that they are just accepting warning letters. So you having to spoil the little ones.
Okay.
So what do you think after warning them so many times?
All
So
right.
they have to expel them because of the other children.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your point. Other people were jotting down questions for you along the way. They will come back with
Sure.
it later. So, Pastor Stephen Momo, please give us the justification now of your answer.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Expelling a student from a school, and by the grace of God, I want to bless God that at least we have started a great school. We started this our second year, and the first year we did not have handbook, but right now we have handbook the second year, and I want to bless God. The topic is very good. It have a very vivid and very good positive impact on the life of the students, on the lives of the young generation. Sorry, I'll be speaking from the background as a spiritual person and also as a principal.
We will be asking you as social people too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We will bring the answer by
Okay.
the grace of God.
All right.
Now, let me speak from the biblical point. Now, when God gave an instruction, let me bring it to a clear one. In the book of Joshua, God said to Joshua that there is a city you are about to attack. It's called Ai. It's a very small city that you don't need to take long to overtake the city. But nobody is to take a pin from there. If you do that, that small city, even though you're plenty, your army strong, that army will defeat you people. They left, they went, they attacked, the battle was going on fine. Achan decided to take something, bury it in his tent, and the battle started turning against them. And the leader left and asked God, why is it happening? He said, we're going to overcome the people. What's going on? And God said, somebody went against the instruction. So check among you people, and then the person be brought forth. And they checked in their midst, and Achan was being caught. And right there, the judgment for him was to wipe him off. That was a clear evidence that, hey, the next time there is an instruction from God, you go against it like this, there's the judgment you receive. Now, I was going to school in Hope International School. I was one of the notorious person on campus, not for negative, but a very good one. That is our all on campus to put children online, conduct the children, all of that. One day we were taking tests, and it was my very first time to do that. While we were taking tests, the other guy, I don't know whether he didn't want to take tests, and he was looking for somebody for them to punish along with him. So he started to pick at me. So that day I really got angry. When I got angry, I took the armchair to really beat him with it because I was vexed. Because I'm already focused on my test, the test already looking stuff like that. They start to distract me again. So I just put all together, I wanted to do again.
Okay.
So the instructor that was giving that test saw me and said,
1 minute. Let me hold you small before. Let me hold you one. Let me say something before you continue, please. We are. For me, I can stay on this platform for Raga AJ. There for me, I will never talk of data. But people who are witnessing the show, some of them put data just to follow what we're saying. So if we hit our target, they will achieve. But we'll go along, some of them data finish, then they can capture our message. So that's why I want to hit our answer straight to the point so that we can gain what we are here for.
all right.
Okay.
So, okay, quickly to that point. At the end of the day, that particular day, I was not expelled, but there was a punishment that I went through because of the way I used to conduct myself. Now, if the handbook in a school said that don't bring left on campus, do not love on campus, do not do this on campus, and you did it, listen to me, the children that are dealing with, they like when somebody do something, if you don't take action, the next person will do it. That one I'm having the experience every day. So when it comes to experienced students from school, from other school, and say don't come in the school year again, it's not bad. They have a very good positive impact that the next people or the next students will not walk in that same path. But if the person do that thing and you decide to say, oh, let's just do small punishment, say, oh, but that person did, I want to beat him, they will just beat me. But when you take one person out, the next time, they will not be able to do it.
Okay.
So inexperienced students, according to the handbook, it's not bad.
Okay. According to the handbook, it's not bad to expel students. That means if students go against the handbook, they should be expelled.
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, it's all positive.
It's positive.
All right. So we hold you there. So let's get Brother Roland. Brother Roland said the both side, but negativity is more, if I'm right.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So tell us how.
Anyway, thanks. Yeah, thanks once more again. Like I said from my intro concerning the topic of discussion, when you speak of expulsion, expulsion definitely on the overall, like I said, it have negative effects on the student. But why it is true on the overall it have negative effect? For me, I personally think and believe that there are still positive spaces on the other end. And that have to do with why it is true that expulsion is not against the rooting of an institution, meaning academic institution, because those measures are put in place, as I think, to restrict students basically in the kind of sector we find ourselves and in the kind of environment we find ourselves. And it also have to do with the context of the student behavior. Sometimes the context of the student behavior. But looking at as a key state, let me say, because this is where we find ourselves. there are many scenarios that some of us we have that we have also formed part of. One was that so a few years back, like in 2016, there was a scenario in Boston. At the time, I was with an institution somewhere around Tinga called HTC Aheb Liberia, where you saw them to how to behave, on campus and things. And this student, once upon a time, the student has a talk show. One of the students went and brought a slaughter knife, in the classroom, only to harm the instructor. And based on the policy of the institution, the institution have to take one. The institution have to take a decision, against that student. So that's some of the positive effect when it comes to running the institution of such. And sometimes, if we look at the school sector, somebody say the positive effect might be to maintain the safety of other students within the institution, to maintain the safety of other students, or to protect or to protect the reputation also of the institution. That is also another positive aspect. But basically, as an administrator or as a school owner or whatever, for me, I see no need why you should expel a student, basically in where we find ourselves. Because if we want to expel a student, we measure put in place. Measure because
the network
right now
is cracking.
From the school, you are denying that students.
Brother, where are you breaking in?
Okay, so just in case you are breaking in, you can log out and log in again, then we can continue with you. So since everyone has given their points, my next question would be, why do government give schools the authority? Okay, go ahead.
Yes, that was so terrible for my end. The rain, yeah, we need rain, so that's why.
No worries, go on.
So some, yeah. Am I there?
Yeah, sure, you are here. Go ahead.
I'm hearing you.
Is it okay now?
It's okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So, like I was saying, many would, so many would do that for the safety of other students. Many would do that for the safety of other students, and many will also do that for the image of the school. Because some, like the way pastor Christian-based institution, there are certain things that his students will not be allowed to do. So for this reason, decision of such can be taken. Yeah. So basically, for me, that's what I think for now.
Okay.
Yeah, Bridget, I want to say something to Pastor Jordan. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Pastor. Okay, thank you. Pastor, you talk about the person that when they went to war in the Bible, some kind of illustration you gave, and because of the person, people were killed. But the Savior came, and when he died on the cross, he said we should forgive them 70 times 7. In fact, said he even forgave the people that were killing them. My second question to you, Pastor, from the Savior side is that you talk about children being expelled because of that wrongdoing. Do you kill your children? I'm just asking you, don't get angry.
No.
Or do you beat them or you throw them out of the house when they do wrong? And you forgive them and keep them in your house? And my last question has to do with you expelling people because of their misbehavior. Why is it that Liberia got rid of death penalty if that's the case? Please answer my questions.
Okay. You are muted.
You got me?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me first address the first question you asked. Do you get rid of your children if they misbehave? I don't get rid of my children when they misbehave.
Okay.
Okay.
No. I don't get
what
rid
about the
of
Savior
them
question?
Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead.
No, she was asking question.
Yes, you are asking, since you have answered this one, what's about the Savior question? That's what she was saying.
Yeah, but so the way I answer it like that is okay.
No, it's not okay.
Yeah, it's
Explain.
okay.
No. Explain small more. You don't get rid of your children.
I don't get rid of my children. Yeah, I don't get rid of my children. The children with me in the house, I have rules and regulations put in place, which you are not to go against. Now, the home and the school is a different thing. My home is my own biological children I'm bringing up. The school, you have different people that are coming. Some are coming with good motive. Some are coming with bad motive. Some are coming to learn. Some are not even coming to learn. So the home and the school, they can be compared.
Okay, let's hold you there.
So the home,
Wait, you give me ask question.
Yeah, let's hold you there. I know Veronica want to say something.
Yeah. I can go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, Pastor, but I guess that I'm still going to Grace's question that she asks you, and your response that you saying that the school and their house is two different things. I don't think so. Reason being, the way I would treat my children at home, because other people, sorry for the expression, but I just have to say it like this, because other people, right? I believe that the way you will punish your child at home, and other people feel that I'm sending my child to school to be well disciplined, apart from learning, right? They should be disciplined that when they're out there, I will be proud of my child or children, also the school. But if you coming to say that they're from a different backgrounds, so they're from a different homes, so the way in which you will treat your child at home, if you pinpoint your child and not discipline it, the way in which you will discipline other people's children, I don't think that statement was right. Because I will tell you for free, right? If my child misbehave in a way they're supposed to misbehave, I would discipline that child. That's why I would discipline other people's children, because it's not because they're from different homes, so I would treat my child right and I treat them wrong. No, I guess that as a principal, the same training that you put in your child or children, you should put it out there in another person on a child or children. Like Librarian says, child is not for one person. So that statement, I don't think it was in a proper way, because the reason Grace asked that question, I guess, that she needed not just answering no, but she needed a concrete explanation that will back your answer. So for me, that answer was not ready, because we are on live broadcast and we are on social media. And I guess some of your members will be able to witness you and your students and family parents. So that mentality, if you say like that, you know, other people will say, like for me, if they're in my case, I'll say I can take my child to that school, because why? If that man is punishing my child, he will not think like he have children. He will punish my child because my child from a different background, and I did not train my child or children, which of course are sending my child or children for them to be trained. That's what I wanted to say.
All right, thank you. Now, I think when you make it to me first, I gave you two scenarios. The first scenarios I said to you when I was in school, what I did, it was equal to expel me. Now, I just said to you that according to the handbook, if I expel a student, I am not wrong. Now,
Pastor, I understand you here, Pastor. I was not trying to draw down that point. That one.
I'll come in there.
That's why I was
I'll come in there. I'll come to that point.
Pastor Stevie, can I say something?
I'll come in. Let me clear that part.
Yeah, I know you will leave. I know you will leave,
Okay.
but you kind of a contradicting my question. That's why I want to say something.
That's the point.
That carrying me, I want to make it. I want to clear where I
I'm trying to clear your side because you on social media.
Yeah, she's just trying to make. But let me just.
No. The pastor get ready to clarify.
Okay,
Pastor, then he clarify.
Okay, go ahead, Pastor.
Yeah, what I said to you, I am not saying anything that say or this and that. No, what I said to you, I just said to you, training your children in the house, training the children in the school can be the same.
You still
And I
saying the
said,
same contradiction, Pastor?
I said saying it to you.
Mm-hmm.
The home training and the school training can be the same.
Okay, so how? Why?
Good. Thank you, Mr. Musa. Now, when it comes to the home training, it's different from the school. In the school area, firstly, you must have it on your mind that that area that you are functioning is a business that you open to everybody. It's a business that you open to everybody. Now, there is only few areas that you restrict people. You don't restrict them across the board to say, oh, this particular school we are running, everybody, whether this one please you, this one not please you. No. Now, I said to you, the home training and the school training is not the same. When I'm training my children,
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm. Let him end that statement. Mm-hmm.
And Grace,
The pastor, you know why I want to inject, because this is a public platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
that's the
As
point.
an advocate and as a gender specialist, I will not sit for the level of discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
Schools are not meant for business. It's a place where even if you want to do business, school is meant for molding and upbringing our children, just how Mamputu protocol put it.
Mm-hmm.
The protocol was very clear. Every child have the right to go to school and be educated. People that run schools and operate facilities to host our kids should know that they did not go there for profit making.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even though they will benefit, but their first priorities is to get rid of discrimination. I see from Pastor Stephen's schools, maybe there are high level of discrimination going on.
We will get there. Hold on. Just hold on.
Yeah, and another thing again, because I also leave you guys. You see, for example, one of the main
I'm coming. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Roland, go ahead.
Yeah, my question to Pastor Pastor Momo is that, Pastor Momo, I want to understand, like you rightly said, if I heard you right, as you said that your restriction home is different than your restriction in the school. I want to understand, if you are a parent, as a parent, why really do you send your children to school for?
You said?
As a parent, why do you send your kids to a good school or to school?
To good school or school?
Yeah, anyone, yeah.
Which one?
The reason why I'm saying anyone, because the reason I'm saying
all of the schools
all
are
of the
good.
schools are good. Yeah. Okay, let's take it from all as a good school. So my question is, I want to know why do you send your kids to school?
You send your kids to school to learn and also to be trained.
Okay.
Yeah. You send your kids
So
to school.
and I was saying something, Brett. I was saying something when the network pop up.
That's the.
Can I complete?
Let Roland learn so that Vero will come in.
Okay.
Yeah, just shortly. Let's take to learn, as you said, to learn and to be trained. So why have you sent your perhaps maybe your child, sorry to say, perhaps maybe your child was someone maybe in the street, right? And you took that child to the school, and based on the disciplinary measure put in place within that school, and the school tried to take certain action against your kids, either maybe because of the school policy, or maybe because of the environment.
We are talking about expel. So it's not just about punishment. We are talking about expel. So
expel. These are the things.
So let's be clear like that.
These are the things that leads to what? To expulsion.
But wait, Roland.
Okay,
Roland.
Before expelling your student from a school, it's not been maybe one time And, you know, or on one or two different occasions, the student have been warned, and the student continue to prove negative as to what they have been told not to do.
Okay,
right?
Roland, hold it there.
So if you send your child to a school and the leadership of the school fails,
Go ahead, end that one, yeah.
And the leadership of the school fails, and the leadership of the school fails to teach your school or maybe to make them to, like you said, to train us to be good form. That at least when you yourself you say, yeah, that school is a good school, or that school, I'm proud of that school.
So, but Roland,
so why the same cannot be done on other children?
Vero, you're complete. I just want to make Roland know that Roland, you also agree to some level that expelling student is necessary. You also did agree.
I said, why? No, definitely. I said, Mr. Musa. I said, maintain. I said, why it is true that expelling students is something necessary, but on the overall, it's negative.
Yes,
no school should practice it.
But you still no. But if no school practice it, that means you are against it completely. But if you say school, I come in. That Vero got something to clear off.
Yeah, I was trying to say something right now, and let me go like this, right? Because why Grace was saying like, the pastor, I don't think you are getting good. Let me tell you one thing. You see, one of the school that I live almost close to that I get married is Harewood. Sometimes the parents cannot be the fault because there are some students. Sometimes they carry jelly sauce. They don't wear perfume and stuff like that. When Bishop at the door, right? He will tell them to lift up their arm, and he will smell them. Look at the sauce is neat before they enter. Okay. So a parent that student parents goes to work and stuff like that, and that student they're dressed anyhow. And when Bishop to the gate in the morning,
we are not going to expect students that you dress well. Why would we expect students who do not dress?
Hold on.
I just tell you,
you teaching your children at home
that
it's about. That's why I tell you that no, it's not two different things. It should be the same.
Okay, hold on, Vero. Hold on. Okay, now hold on a little bit. Remember, the question is expelling. That means telling the students, say, you are out of school. You are not coming to learn here again.
I already quote my point, but I was just trying to clarify things when you were answering.
So Vero, what's your actual issue with Pastor?
I don't have issues, right? I'm trying to tell Pastor this. If you can put the same training you put in your child or children at home, make sure you put in other people with your children that when they grow up, you will be proud of them when you see them and say, this person was my student.
Okay, I hold you there.
That's my point.
Okay, Pastor, address that very point.
Yeah. Good. Now, let me see your name clear. Let me see.
Veronica.
Vero. I will not just jump early in the morning and start at. You know that expelling a student is the last thing that a school will do. You're not just jump early in the morning and say, oh, because you didn't do anyone, we are sparing you in school. You know the kind of patient that are there.
That's not the point I'm saying. Rachel, I hope you understand my point. That's not the point. You're talking different things.
Okay.
Can I say something, Rachel?
So I think
Rachel, let's just say the meeting let's just say the meeting.
Rachel, are saying something. Go ahead.
Can I go?
Go ahead.
Am I part of the discussion?
Grace, you are sure the part.
Okay, Pastor Stevie M. Momo, you are a very kind and patient man, right? I think with your family. My whole point I'm making here is very simple. I may be as calm as possible, but I will push my idea to the last. Pastor, those children you see in your school or any other school, they have parents that sometimes they are devastated, they are frustrated, but they don't even have money to send those children to school. They are manuring in the market, selling, in the ring. They don't even have time in the morning to know if that child hair is cut, if their sauce is clean. So, but they don't even eat lunch, they don't even eat breakfast in the morning before coming to your school. So I expect every school in this country, I'm not talking about other countries, but Liberia, with the amount of frustration and the tension parents are under from the human rights perspective, and because of the civil war, you preparators And all of you teaching at those various schools, I expect you to be patient. And there should be no form of expression at this level.
Okay, hold on
Because
there.
the children's mind is not made up for that yet.
All right,
That's my
hold
point.
on. Pastor, just give me a second. If
Rachel, I want to ask you a question.
I-
Rachel, I want to ask a question.
okay, go
I
ahead.
want to ask you a question. Rachel, like you, I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
On a platform, I really want to know from you. Can you expel a student for wearing dirty socks, coming with tear, uniform, or maybe hungry or feeling bad and not paying attention to lesson?
No,
To your
Who you want to ask?
no,
that breaks you
That breaks you asking Grace.
I can never do that.
I guess I explained that. Say you must say when I talk about negative and positive thing, right, Bridget? I
Because
explained that.
because-
it should be like major things that
because-
you have gave them warning, you have warned them
Because-
over and again.
you see,
I even said an example.
where I'm getting a little slack is Roland, Veronica, and Pastor. They should be on the same route.
I'm on the same route, Bridget, but I'm just trying to, how they call it, some things that are not right.
Okay.
I just trying to
The problem, Pharaoh, the problem that Pharaoh get with me, Pharaoh say, I should not share.
Yes, don't discriminate. That's my point. Don't discriminate.
Oh,
Yes, that's my point.
okay. So
It is wrong, Pastor. You
Oh.
discriminate. It is wrong. You're not respecting the basic human rights in school.
Why would you
It's
slap
wrong.
other people on the children?
okay.
That's
So I get the point now.
Discipline my child when you do wrong to me, I will discipline you. That's how other people.
You can forgive your children, but you can forgive the student. That's wrong, Pastor.
So let me balance.
That's a student in some cases, but if they
I tell you that I can forgive the student. I tell you that one.
discriminate.
I
Okay.
tell you that one.
So let me balance something now. Now we understand what very issue is, and Brother Roland too saying, I come in. Brother Roland too saying that is exactly where he too have a little issue. Even though they agree with you for the expulsion of students, they agree that it should be done. Okay, but that very part that you said, so that part is what I want you to make clear now in 1 minute. What do you mean by you cannot treat other people's children like your own? How different will you treat them? What's the difference?
No, I didn't say you can't treat. I said you can't compare school and home training and school training. That's what I said. So that you play Veronica get problem with me.
No,
Veronica
Pastor, you
said,
said.
yeah, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
Pastor, when Grace asks you the question.
Vero, go ahead. Remind me. How we on the show? Remind me.
Yeah, we are on a show, right? We here to debunk, we here
Yeah.
to scatter, we here to pack and put it in the right place.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah, Roland, I want Roland, you calling me?
Yeah, I'll call your attention, please. First, let me just bring to your attention that the weather is getting very bad. The wind is very the whole area dark now. So anytime for another I can go up.
I'm
But
seeing
before
you.
going, I'm still here.
We still seeing you.
Like I said, I go with the book. I just want to say I come here. So like I said, I go with the book. Like I said, I go with the book. Like I said, I go with the book, which is the negative and the positive. I just want to stress a few things out, out clearly. The reason why I go with positive or bad is because sometimes before the reason I would be important is, like I said, the act or the context of the person being expelled, the behavior threat within the school. Whether is something that affects students or something that that go against administrative policy.
Give one example.
Now, we also like I said. For example, maybe you might have the student in your school, and also you have then given them, let's say, a handbook. And in your school policy, it set out that no student should bring maybe let's say a cigarette or drug or any alcoholic beverages on campus. Then, seeing students within some of the classes, be a male or female, students within some of the classes bringing such items in their bag, coming and also giving it to other students within the class. Not one time, not two times, and you have warned the student, you have invited the student parents and said you see no changes. So instead of the student being, saying that kind of negative, threatening other students, the institution can take action against that student.
Okay, so now,
That's for pastoral aspect.
okay, hold on there.
That's for pastoral aspect.
Okay, hold on there.
Mhm.
So, if you said that to be done, now, if your child was in your house and you told them something to do and they are not doing it, can you expel that child from you?
No, that's what I said.
No, I mean, just answer me yes or no.
Negative.
Can you expel your child?
So I can't spend that time away.
Okay, now hold on there.
No, I
hold
have
on there.
alternative-
Okay,
Yeah,
then why? That's the point pastor is trying to speak from, that the home training is domestic than the school.
That's where I have an issue.
Eh? You get? I
That's
come
why
in.
I say alone.
I come in. Yeah, I come in. Grace, you will come in, because pastor is saying that the example, like, if you set the rules for you, Grace, you are on a side because you 100% say expression is no. So you away. But since Vero and Roland said expression is necessary, even though it shouldn't be higher, but it's
In some
necessary.
cases,
Okay, so is
In
that
some cases,
space?
it's necessary. Yeah, in some cases, it's necessary. Even looking at
I
the
said in some
repetition of the
cases, I said
institution,
negative and
right?
positive side.
Okay.
The repetition of the institution. Why you think having your child home, maybe you are a pastor and your child is in the street there on drug or something? Why you think the parents can taking that child from the house and send them to rehabilitation centers? That's an alternative measure. That doesn't mean that maybe the parents don't love their children or don't love their child.
But the child is still your child.
So the parents when they're sending that child at that point, the child is still your child, So I'm not denying my child. I'm not denying my child. So I can take my child from the house.
At that particular point, you are sending your child
I'm
away.
coming to
You are sending your child
maybe
away.
at that point there
You
are
are
things that I can't will go home.
You
Because maybe the child could not
sending
hear
your
the child
child different
the child might also pass that paper to other students.
Definitely.
You get me? So I could take my child from there and send my child to a rehabilitation center. You are saying?
So you are sending your child away.
Through that thing. No, I'm not sending you away. I'll be checking on you. So
Okay.
I'm not telling you for the
Okay,
home. I'm not
okay.
telling you I'm my job.
Let me balance it. So, Vero, give us one example about how child should be, why child should be expelled from school, Vero. Grace, please
Like
listen
I said.
carefully.
Like I said, there is a handbooks, right? There should be a handbook that will be given to that child. Now, I set an example. Now that they're on Facebook, I know some Liberian schools where we're on Facebook, like student kissing their friend in a romantic way and
I'm trying to
students
relocate the room.
smoking. Now, if they kind of first time, there should be a warning. The second time, invite the parents. If the parents cannot cope with that, then you can expel the child.
Okay.
But now, minor issue like child, like the child being dirty, child maybe like a temperament, slap your friend, then you without no warning, then you expel the child.
Okay.
That's on the negative side. That's what I said.
All right, thank you, Vero. Grace, do you have any objection that is what says Vero said that after you warn the child for 1, 2, 3 times, you should expel them?
Invite their parents.
You invite their parents.
I have serious objection with everything they are saying, right?
Okay, let us go to says Vero exactly address what you just said.
Yeah.
Well, how do you go against that?
Farah have children. She know the point she's making. But for me, it's very frustrating to see the fact that even if a child carry gone to school, they shouldn't be expelled.
Okay.
If a child even take knife in a classroom, they shouldn't be expelled.
Okay.
My reason is very simple. Let me tell you something. The pastor said something about the savior, the next issue I mentioned, right? I want to ask the question on the open. We say we are Christian, we run Christian school, but our example in our life, we Liberians, we are even signatory to all of the international human rights declaration, including death penalty. But Liberians are heartless and they don't even have time for the standard that they set on paper. You're talking about handbook. How many schools follow the handbook, Rachel? How many schools? If, for example, America or other country, making comparison to Liberia, if you see a child with a gun, you have the right to turn that child over to the Liberian National Police. Even though they are Gemini, they are answerable, they are Gemini system in place that they can investigate cases like that. Mind you, most of them, when I even suspend those children, They will jump over suspension straight to expression, spoiling that child whole life.
So,
You saying the child is a Jimmy now? Let me remember when you see that child with a bone, or you see the child romancing in classroom. The first question I want to ask my sister Vera is that child 18 years? If yes, that child is open to have a sexual life. Secondly, like God doesn't have any law that prohibits sex on the internet. The only time the school will come into question. The only time the school will come into question is you are not following the guideline or monitoring the activities of your students. You're not following it. If you are following your students' activities and marking them, you will know which child is doing what on the internet or which child is going astray. And you know the first step to do that, very say you invite the parents. The especially you talking about should not even be an option. There are a lot of disciplinary measures that you can take as a proprietor to be able to change that child. If that child, if it was your child, you will not get rid of them. So expression should not even be on the list.
okay.
That's my point.
Okay, hold on there. Thank you for that explanation, right? So right now, I want to balance the conversation. The little point or the little percentage that Brother Roden gave to expression and the little percentage that Sales Vero gave to expression. Yeah, Pastor.
Before you come in, let me just explain a little about how our handbook look like.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Now you
procedure
talking about your
which-
school, right? You talking about your school, not handbook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I tell her how it looks like.
Okay. The handbook that we have in the school, the first step is that when you read a handbook, there are certain things that the students does. They
And
will
what about
firstly be
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. When they go against that handbook, mm-hmm.
yeah, you were talking something.
No,
about
it's
what?
clear. He just wanted to know.
The 7 things that what I want to understand.
You say?
Some of the things that when the student do that is against the handbook. But I just want to leave that. I just want you to tell us that go to the steps. Just explain the steps.
Now, before you go to the season lineup, you will see with the caption that if a student go against these rules, or if they do not go according to these rules, number one, the student will be invited. We have about, because right now there's the second year, so we have about 3% that will invite that student, because right now per our level, according to the rules that we are put together per our level, we have 3% who will invite that student to carry the counseling first.
After that go to the next one.
After one,
Yeah.
after that one, if that student still keep doing that thing,
What happened?
then that 3-man committee will invite the parents of that particular student.
After that.
After that, if the student still go ahead to do that same thing, is to remove them.
Okay. And that's what says Grace said no to. So says Vero, Roland, do you agree with Pastor Lines?
No, for that I don't agree with that line. I have a question for him from there.
Why you don't
Yeah,
agree
Pastor.
first? No, why you don't agree? After you call the parent, you call the student, why you don't agree?
First and foremost, I don't think the end result should be removing the student from the school, just like that.
Why should be
That's what
done
I have
next?
the problem with.
Why should be done next?
Okay, this is where my question comes from. I want to first answer. I don't want to answer his question.
Okay.
Yes, Pastor Momo.
Yeah.
I want to understand from you, as an administrator from your institution, do your institution have any rehabilitational system set up for students?
Now, for now, no.
Okay. It's okay. The answer is good.
No, okay. I take no for an answer.
Yeah.
If no, why do your school expel students?
No. Wait, Pastor. Wait. I got an issue. it's beginning to confuse me. If Roden will be bringing that question to pastor, that means there's a contradiction.
So now contradiction. No, brother Breakthrough. Brother Breakthrough, for the onset, I told you why it is true that they both are necessary, but on the overall, both on the overall, on the overall, it is one, not necessary.
But I asked you to give me
The
one.
reason I'm coming to you, because my point I'm continuing to stress is this, right? There are reasons why institutions, as far as Pastor Momo, expel students.
Okay. Wow, one reason. Gave Grace and myself one reason now. Grace, listen carefully.
One of the reasons that institution can expel students will be protecting the environment for other students.
No,
I said protecting the
I hear that
environment.
answer.
I'm
The
saying.
network was breaking. Can you go over the answer?
Yeah, repeat it.
Repeat, please.
Oh, you talking to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your answer I just gave.
I'm saying, looking at it from a positive perspective, one of the reasons why institutions, as such as Pastor Momo,
No, leave Pastor Momo, any institution.
I'm discussing that you said it. The reason, some of the reason would be to maintain the environmental safety, the education environmental safety for students.
Example.
You are saying.
Example.
Okay, example is this. A student comes to my class. They take my class as a lecturer, right? A student comes to my class. Maybe that student got into some fight with another student within the class, and I speak against it. Or maybe put the student outside, maybe watching quiz or so, and the student walk out of my class and threaten to do something to me. And the next week, the student comes to school with maybe a cutlass or maybe a single battle to do something to me. And I have to report it to the administration. Do you think the administration looking at their handbook, do you think the administration will keep that child within the school?
And there should be a warning first.
With such attitude, do you think the student will keep the institution will maintain that student there, look at other students being around? Students that teacher talk to you, you want to take such decision against them. So why maybe one day the student going among their fellow comrades and taking out weapons to harm somebody?
So for that reason, you want the student to be kicked out of the school?
Now kick out. That's what I said. If there's a need for expulsion by any administration, there should be alternative measures put in place.
Which alternative?
The alternative measure is taking that student from the institution and sending them to a while, maybe within the institution, they can set up a rehabilitation committee.
In case the parent cannot agree, in case a parent don't agree at all that you carry their children to that fact.
I'm coming to you now. You are not sending the student out of the school.
But David, in case the parent refuses.
Okay. All right.
Can you balance? Can I say
Roden, wait more.
People talking.
Roden, wait more. Pastor, I beg you, wait more. Roden, because we came on the show for the target. Do you agree with Grace that there should be no expulsion? Let's just put you with Grace because I don't want. There should be no expulsion. It's not. Thank you. So now you go one side. Let's hit Vero now. That Vero all attacking now, right? Vero, give us the reason why you think there should be expulsion. One reason.
Like I said. If the student continue to do such things, right? After a warning, invite their parents 1 or 2 times, and you find out SSC, because based on their parent response, because there are parents that when you invite them to their school and tell them, this is what your child or children doing to the school, somebody will debunk that topic. Somebody will tell you, say it's a black lie, my child cannot, because they have some of the students that behave well at home, but when they come to school, they don't
Yeah.
behave well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
after that, like Grace said, now, they are come to Grace after like suspension when the student come back and they keep repeating over and again. Now you talk about rehabilitation center. In case the parent debone their child going there, what they asking?
Mm.
What the response?
Okay.
You have to let
Okay.
them go.
Can I come in, breakthrough?
Yes, come in, because right now the reason why when you come in, I know that we have the gold. Now Roden has drawn our team, so we are now chasing Vero. When we grab Vero, we're going for Pastor. Because the issue with the expression, there are things here that will prove that expression should be nowhere in anywhere school. So now
Okay.
let's go to Vero now. Thank God we are Congo Roden already. You and myself, we finish our reading to us. Pastor Pa, he said 100% there should be expression.
So well, breakthrough. So well,
You for me now? Okay.
No, Breakthrough, you wrong. You're supposed to be the judge.
Now the thing is, even if I'm supposed to be the
They being biased.
no, I'm not biased. The thing is,
You
Yeah,
are
sir.
the judge. Chris, Breakthrough is the judge, so you have no side to take right now.
Okay, breakthrough neutral.
all right,
breakthrough
all right.
neutral.
Let's take it as I'm neutral.
Because Nana, you just said you Grace
No,
my
I
brother.
saw him
your
say anything.
wife,
Nothing you
See, Pastor, to be honest, there I prove that I have in my person to know that expelling students from school is a no. That's why me being a judge. It's clear enough. So since Grace came out to that, why I've been keeping my mouth quiet. Brother Roden came out with that. He said he has small point. Now we left chasing him. He said realized that there's no need to expel students. So says Vero also says she got a reason why students should be expelled for a definite reason. So I want her to help convince us in the public. There are a lot of people on this thing that are talking. So she will share her view. Maybe her view will make points that, oh yes, students should be expelled. Then me and Sis Grace will agree with her. Then that means you and her now, you people become one. But we're trying to see, maybe herself will realize to say, I think there should be no need for expulsion. Then we will come back to you too. Maybe you will find reasons. So the audience now will know that apart from you, there are 4 principals on this plate that are chatting with me, that they are interested in what we're saying. So that idea I want us to bring. So let's get to Sis Vero now. Let her give us a legitimate example to show to us that why a student should be expelled from learning. That's why I want for us to hear.
And Rachel, let me tell you, right? I'll talk about the negative and the positive side, right? One thing again, I would tell schools, right? Even if you expel that student, right? You end up like constant habits. I know a school, what a lady girl in the school, and she had a cut in her friend, right? She did some unnecessary thing. I need to talk, right? Sexual, something like that. So that's her constant habit. They invited her parent, her master partner, and the woman debunked the statement. They did it like 2 or 3 times. She said her daughter can never do that. And one time it was like, bro, she was ashamed to that extent. So it's the lady like constant happen. Not 1, not 2, not 3 students you have done it to. So what they did, they expelled the lady. But they said we will expel her, but we will not like stand behind her image. When they expel her, she felt, okay, this thing I was doing, I felt like it was a pleasure because my mom at that time was a big person in the government and stuff like that. But when they expel her, she went to another school, she changed. Because she realized she used to love that school and they expel her, she changed completely. But there are students, when they expel, then they go to another school, they will continue that habit. That's what I said, that the first time there should be a conversation between the students and the teachers. From there, the principal, there should be a counseling. When you find out that this habit continue, you invite the parent first, based on the parent response. Because there are parents, when you invite them, they will do, oh, my child can't behave like this at home. They will try to talk to the child or the children. And while you say you talk, that was the reason I came in to say that when pastor said that you cannot treat a child or children the way he treats his, that was the reason I debunked it, because everyone wanted better. I come in, yes, because everyone wanted better for the child
and for the children. So if you wish your child or children better, you should do it for others. Now, after inviting the child parents, based on their response, their children, parents, or child that will debunk, they say their child cannot do it because that child is so perfect at home.
Okay.
But when they come to school, they join another group.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you invite the child parent the first time, if they debunk us, the second time there should be an evidence.
Okay.
If they still debunk and the child continues because of other children, let me tell you, some people can peer pressure, can grab them, they can do so many things that you cannot say.
Yeah.
They do so many things. So if you find out you're not getting it, there are some child parents that you invite, they don't care. They will tell you, say, do what you're supposed to do. The only thing, don't bust the apple and don't kill them. Do what you're supposed to do for the child to change. And some children, they will change. But if they're not changing, why they ask and let them go? But you don't need to right behind them because I guess they're going to miss their classmate, their student. And you go like BWRS. I don't know now if that the same law. If BWRS expire, you can expire for only 2 years. After 2 years, you have the right to go back to the school. That time you are changed person, you have the right to go back to the school.
Okay.
If you stay in one class for like 2 years, then they will tell you, say, go and go rest. And Peter could go to school of journalism and do the same. If they know you are not focused, they try counseling you, calling your parents, you stay the same. Like 2 or 3 times, or they say, you know, I've been going rest. Like, after saying that, you can come back and see there will be a counseling.
Okay.
So, in a sense, that if you're not getting that vibe for the child, let them go. But you don't have to right behind it. When they go to another school, if they know their character is not correct, they will change. But if they continue to do that, the same thing, they wish me they are meant to do it.
Okay, thank you then.
So
Thank
that's
you.
the part.
Thank you. So says Grace. Says Vero spoke some logical points, which I think are captured. Okay, so
Okay.
what do you make of what she said that if you call the parents and the parents are not in line with the school, what do you make of that?
The first thing, before I say anything to what Pharaoh said, I like to give this tip. Listen very well because your one decision can spoil the next president's future, the next representative or senator or senate pro tem future of Liberia. Listen, they say expression contribute to feeling of mental health challenges. While expression may seem as a solution, a very quick solution, at a time in addressing behavioral change, it often do not have any positive effects on our children. Now, let's come to the state of that girl that you say have a sexual behavior with some few students. My first thing I want to tell you here is that once that child did not bring evidence, it was alleged. There are plenty of things that happen in
That's why I
school.
never used the word alleged because it was an evidence.
Okay, even there was evidence, right? There are plenty stigmatization that take place in school, or there are plenty bullying that take place in school that cause students to even end their life, that cause students to not even want to pick up. One thing you should understand here is, I keep saying from the start, that is a fun something scenario you give. But mind you, my first question to you, all of these schools you're talking about, do they have counseling sections for these children?
Hold on.
Do they have
Hold on, Vero. The example you gave, yeah. Do they have counseling section, right?
Do they have counseling sections for these children?
Yes,
my
that
first
was
question.
the reason.
Okay.
Do they have
Wait. Let's get to the point. Small.
section? I was there.
Okay, good. Pastor, what you want to say?
I was in there.
Says great. Just wait. We'll get to it. Yeah, Pastor. You want to answer says great question?
Yeah, says Grace. Says Grace was just talking general. She said that the person that you put it out of school, they might be the next president, they might be the next senator.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I agree. Now, that particular student also that either bringing knife in a school might stab the next president. They might not be the
Okay,
president.
hold on. No, you go. I thought. Hold on. I get you. Wait. Says Grace. Says, no, very wait.
When you people cut me off.
Very wait.
You
Pastor,
can't-
wait. I thought Pastor wanted to answer the question that Vero was asking because Vero asked. Says Grace asked Vero. Do the school have counseling section? Vero.
That was my first question. She said yes.
Part of it.
Okay, good. So hold on there. Says Grace.
My second question: do the school have a general desk?
What's the responsibility of the gender desk?
Why again?
The gender desk, she just indicated that child was abusing her friend or some female students sexually.
So, Vero,
Gender desk.
was it proving?
Gender desk.
Was that proof that
It was proven.
Okay,
It was
good.
proven.
All right, your next question.
Do your school have a gender? You don't have a gender desk, yes or no?
How was it proven? Let's know first. How was it proven?
Now, how was it proven? Like this child did not deny it,
Okay.
right?
Maybe she
And
was
in the
coerced.
first place, I come in now. This child did not deny everything, and the person was like, "Lebe," and I know I was part of that case, right? Thinking that we are.
Okay. So,
Okay.
why should
My third question. My third question. Do that school have a psychosocial counseling space or a rehabilitation
took that
space
idea
for
from.
students? Do
Psych-
they have it? A
uh,
psychosocial center or a rehabilitation center. Every school supposed to have it. That is the rules, right? Do
But-
the school have it?
okay.
Do they have a hospital or a section that were able to identify that child actually did what she did? If all of these things are put in place,
Yeah,
yes, the
yeah.
school have it. Parents were invited. Yes.
I
So
think
my
she just
question
for
to
everything.
Veronica now. My question to Veronica, I'm not having time for all of that thing saying because I can have a right to choose any gender she want to affiliate with. I want the law, that what our government agree to. I want the sign off for up there on the international level. But my question to Veronica now, if that student she referring to, if that was her daughter that was placed in that situation, like you said, since the girl left the school, she quiet. You saying she changed, but you don't know what is going through her mind.
Okay.
like
Please,
I was saying,
please give your question.
Ask you question, Vera.
Yeah, the question to Vero.
If that
yeah.
girl in person, I'm talking, if that girl in person was your only girl child that was placed in that situation, that have to leave her classmates or friends, have to leave her association because she made a tiny mistake that you people could address.
I was
If
trying
our
to
boy
say
she
something
have
on the
an affair with
network.
Akami,
Grace,
if our boy she have,
when the network, I had a call, it went off.
No.
yeah, you were coming. Let me just lay my point.
Let her lay her question
When
down
I
because
when I bought child, she coming to have that thing with. When I bought child, no problem. Oh, there are people that are pregnant attending your school. You can expect it.
Bocha was involved too.
Okay,
That's
fine.
why.
That will not have problem, right? But now if that girl that was
That's
your
why.
biological child and your only body on joke court and you were in a position, you will be advocating all around here for that girl. Is it because she's not related to you? Why you encourage her to suspect to
okay. All right, says great. Your question has been asked. Let's
Yeah,
Vero.
let me stand to a point. Now,
Okay,
I
baby.
called the lecturer, right, and I asked her, why is he doing it? This is not the first, the second, but you be doing it to boss children at the same time. You know the lady answer that she gave me? My mother is a big person, works in the government. So as far as I'm concerned, anything that I'm doing or I did, that case will not go nowhere. Like seriously? And money answer all things. I said, why you keep
Was she
doing it?
suspended?
She was suspended for the first time, the first 1 week. When she came back,
Okay.
they suspended for 2 weeks because she did it again. Like almost 3 to 4 times. But you know how she changed? After they sent her to different school, she continued to do the same thing, but she changed reason being when the person that she lived with passed off. So she changed completely because
So
she
now,
never had no
Sarah,
family.
you made a mistake.
She
You
never
did
had
well,
nothing.
but you did not tackle the problem. You did well, but you did not tackle the
She
problem.
never had
You
nobody
supposed
tell
to
her with
investigate.
backup. She never had nobody at that point to tell you, say, okay, they will back up when things happen. But when it happen like that, she can just do money and finish. So she changed completely to the extent that it was, okay, say she changed, but everybody know her and stuff like that. If you want to come to the school, you can come. But she was doing it on because of the political issues and her parents like have money at that time and anything they can.
That means I'm right, Vera. I'm right, sis. Because you did not identify that parent, the parent or the guardian was the cause of the problem the girl was going through.
Okay,
The
all right.
guardian was the issue. And you did not identify that the guardian was the issue. But you expect her. The guardian has been the issue.
Because it was
not the
over
child.
and again. And that's when you want the difference.
All right.
We still doing the
So
same.
the child is innocent.
Okay, Vero, I'm coming. Says Grace, I have a question for you, says Grace.
Go ahead.
Pastor, listen
Yeah.
carefully. Maybe you're doing research on Ministry of Education for your school because today, the people will eat.
Graduate
Because I
after
see
is
some of my
5
children,
minutes to
some of
6,
my
and
children
today is
they are
Saturday.
online,
Everybody
so
will soon
I'm
about
sharing the phone.
Oh, okay.
You have to
So,
work on your time. Yeah.
yeah. No,
I'm sharing.
Vero, this topic is strong, go. I know you got a lot of lines. Okay.
So you have to I have to leave you soon.
Yeah, before you go, just let me end this part. When your call comes down, we will let you go, please. So says Grace, like says Vero said from my example. Let me serve as a twin father right now. All the things you name, psychosocial counseling, gender decks, blah blah blah. The school apply everything. They have everything in place.
Yeah.
They even invited the parent, and the and the parents came. Okay? They even invited the parent, and the parent came. Okay, now we got another guest who says she want to say something, so we're adding her on, but she will just speak when the time comes. Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it Aminata? You are online, so you said you want to say something. So hold on. So let's say the school had all the rules and regulations set by the Ministry of Education for this student, and they called the parents. The parents came, but the parents refused to go in line with what the school is saying. And you, says Grace, was the owner of that school. The parent cannot listen to you. They said they don't believe what you're saying, right? And you have all the proof that this girl did this thing. She confessed that to you, tell you that she did it and everything. What will you do?
The first thing I keep telling Veronica.
No, what will you do?
I come in, yes. There are something called women and children protection in Liberia. In other countries, they call it when your child, you want to take care of the child, they can transfer the child. I don't really know how you call it in a foreign country there, right? But I think social service. The first question I asked her, she said the child was below 18. No problem. That child have a very fine case. My point and what I would do, once it has been identified that the parents is the one that contributing to that child negative character, I will ask social service to come in possession. If Labrador have a good system, will not be struggling with most of these things.
That was
social service will adopt that child.
politics was involved.
Sarah, can I make my point? They ask me a question. Can I make my point? Yes. Social service will take charge because the government, it's the government duty to make sure that every children from the international law, make sure every children have access to education and be brought up in a good atmosphere. Now, if the school was able to identify the parent have most of the contribution go to that child negative lifestyle, that child was to be taken from the parent and given to social service for protection until that child go through that rehabilitation and change.
Okay.
That will be expelled.
Okay, hold on there. Vero said the school that expelled that child didn't know because the child never said it at that moment. That she went to another school after the person died, right? According to you, Vero, after that guardian passed. So you says Grace now, if you were the one in the school that Vero was in, you have done all the tests, you have done all the legal process to make sure that we keep this child, to make this child to be a good student. We call the parents. Pastor Momo?
You still not getting my point. My point here is this. My point here is this. I stand to be corrected and I come clean and clean. If Veronica have a connection with that student, if Veronica have a personal link with that student, if she have a line of parental connection with that child, she who have identified that that parent was the cause of that child problem. She who identified that that parent was the one embarrassing that child. And she will have called social service and that child who have been transferred. But because most of the parents, most of the teachers and the proprietors do not have link with that student, they already have that pre-mindset that their child is rude, their child is bad. And that's what they expel, which is wrong. They should change that mindset and deal with the children like the way they deal with their children at home. Like Mr. Mogo said, he has different ways to deal with the children and he has different ways to deal with students. So the discrimination space has been created. They treat our children in school different from the way they treat their children at home.
Okay.
So they don't have connection with the children.
Okay. So you are
So if she
claiming.
have connection, she will know that that child was dying slowly from whom. That child's future was taken away from whom.
Okay.
But because she
I
never
did
had
have
connection,
connection.
that's what
I
that
have
thing happened to the child.
All right. Let you very. What are you saying?
I did have personal connection, and even
Then why you couldn't identify the
there was in
problem?
a community to also as a community daughter because she was also doing it in the community, right? We tried to talk to her. What are you? And you know the point. I was thinking that okay, maybe like you're seeing mine, but the person was over. She was living, and I don't have time for that thing called relationship. So why is it you keep doing this stuff? Why? Why can't you change now? If an owner she went to different school and she was going to change to that school, they are going to say, oh yes, because of expert. But she applied the same thing at that school too.
Until the person died, right? That means you did not do your way, you did not know the child. You was just living with the child, but you never knew
No,
the
it's
child.
not like I had a now.
You never knew the child.
So okay. All right. So that means Says Grace is
That
saying.
was the reason a breakthrough. I can't say when politics involved, when power comes into things, there are things that you and I know Liberian laws. When power comes into things, there are things that have demarcation and boundaries when it comes to power.
My brother will change
what I
one
said.
very soon.
Of demarcation and power. Wait, Jack, what do you mean by that? Says Vero.
Now, because of what I'm trying to say, because of that, you have the power. There were various issues or issues that evolve police, but because of the mentality of friendship next tomorrow, and because of the mentality of power that even if their case went to the police station, it was not judged the rightful ways. And you see that we are a community daughter, we have to leave that. So it's a better thing they can do. Okay, you are supporting other people's children, you have to go.
All right. So
That means the system is rotten, not the child. The system is rotten, not the child.
Because
the school system.
It cannot be fixed. The child can be
the
fixed.
parent has the power back in this.
So
The system is rotten. It has nothing to do with the child being brought up the
so
right way.
says Grace. Which system are you speaking about? Is it the school system or the which are the system? That very school.
All of the system, breakthrough, all of the system are rotten. But our children can be fixed and they can be indoctrinated to be better people.
All right.
You see, from the school angle, probably the mother had money. She used her influence to the police station, and you don't even know if the register, the prosperator was also black.
So
that the fact was not able to be exposed at that time to show that she was the problem.
okay, so you agree.
The fee say it will be transferred to our next generation. No, we will speak up. Our children will have proper care.
All right.
This is the time for change.
Hold on. Pastor, the reason I'm not calling you to come in because most of your questions, that's what I'm bringing forward so that you will get space to come in later. You get the point? Yeah.
Anita, do you want to say something?
No. Anita Kroman. Says Anita Kroman, just join the conversation quickly before I continue. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon to everybody.
Yeah, you've been following us and you requested that you have a very important tip that you want to share, so I should bring you on. So now you are on. Welcome.
Yeah, I listen to everybody one by one, and I got a few tips in every word for our analyze it. From Sis Veronica to Pastor to Sis Grace. First day the topic I raised, it was what should expression be? Should not be made or should be made in school?
And what's your take?
What is the next? My take on is that it is good to expel students from the school.
Okay, you and Pastor Finney joined the same boat already. Why?
No, it's not joining, it's something how it's supposed to be and what is supposed to be.
Tell us quickly, please.
First, the schools administration has run by rules and regulations, and for the teacher aspect, the teacher are not whether they want to be blamed. Sometimes the parents, as I was saying in the comment section, everybody has their own upbringing, and the school have functions. The reason why sometimes they give is expression, they don't just give expression like that. They give cracks, running to the student instances That's the reason the school every period.
Why?
School know that they
Hold on.
hard way, giving the same people.
Hold on, please.
So extension is good sometimes in the school. What says Veronica was saying, I agree or there are some students got bad behavior. When they enter the school, sometimes they sexually abuse other kids.
So should they be expelled because they abuse other kids?
Yes, if you give me the reason why they should be expelled, the teacher function in the school is to observe the kids. That's the teacher function. Going to school, it doesn't mean that only education, discipline, and morals have been teaching in the school.
Says Aminata. Hello, Miss Kroma.
Yeah, I get to break you.
Okay, so we'll come back to you, right? Just let us to go the path we're going. Let's clarify the issue on hand. Then
okay. Why says Veronica saying? Why I say I agree with her? If they want the student, probably they can give you punishment. The teacher will report you to the demon student. The demon student there to handle student affair and teacher affair. That's the rules of the demon student. If the demon student doesn't ever encourage to the principal, and the principal can give or sometimes they can give you a warning, like they will suspend you. For that suspension, your parents, that suspension raise or comes in your parents' home. Like 1 week suspension. So, and then our parents erase or comes like, why you not going to school? Because some children, when they get in suspension, they doesn't go home.
Okay, hold on.
But if they get you 1 week, I see you going, she will go on the campus.
All right.
That's on the campus, and the person continue.
Oh God.
And the school can get you inspection.
All right. Thank you so much for your points, and your points are well accepted. We want to appreciate you for contributing your points to the show. Thank you. All right. So quickly, says Grace, I had a little short question before we can round up from this point. My question to you was, you said the system is poor. We all should be aware of that. But now we are speaking the schools that are running in this poor system. We are not speaking of schools that are running in a system that will be good tomorrow. The schools are running right now as we speak. The school says Vero spoke about is the school that was running and still running. The one pastor is running is a school that is running now in the rotten system. So within this poor system that you're speaking about, if all the preliminaries were done and they did all their best to make sure that this girl parent were called, the parent did not agree to them. They asked this girl, so children can be very secretive, they can keep things to themselves. They did all their closeness in their capacity. Don't you think it's necessary that this girl be given back to her parents, that the parents should cancel her for some time and then later can bring her back to school? Do you think it's necessary?
Rachel, I want to ask you a question. Why do you send your children to school?
Your children goes to school because you want to build their capacity.
Okay, Veronica.
Yeah.
Why do we have schools? Why do school operate?
School operates. The reason we have school that there are some when it comes to associations, when it comes to knowledge upbringing,
to build human capacity. That's it.
Okay, Pastor. Pastor, why you open your own school, please, Mr. Momo, Pastor Momo? Why did you open your school?
Yeah. To develop the minds of the
That's it, to build human capacity.
Thank you. You see, Breakthrough? You
Come
see
on.
it? Everybody talking about mind development.
Yeah.
Mind development.
Yeah.
If I could develop my child in a house, I could make my child to be a decent woman in a house and teach her ABCD. Then what the need of me carrying her to a socially constructed building that society has decided to mold her? Since I can't hold that to be more and to be brought on the right way, it is Veronica school system business. It is Pastor Momo school system business in his priority to make recommendations to the Ministry of Education, to work with parent for PTA meeting, express their grievances, to make sure that our children have good education. In that case, it's very simple. You never supposed to expel her. If once you expel her, your school failed, that means your school not relevant. You're not able to do the work you say you want to do.
All right.
If you cannot mold a child, you get rid of one child, your whole school failed.
All right. So I think that was the concluding part of our conversation that we're going to say. You are just jumping in. Let's just conclude at this location. So we all agree that the essence of opening school is to build human capacities. Right. We all agree with that part.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
good.
the essence.
All right, good. So in the process now of
Reggie,
Pastor.
even
I think we are on a bridge. We are on a bridge of concluding, right, Bridget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let Pastor come in. Pastor, I've been silent for a while.
even within the community, it's now all the cases that they carry to police station. But there are certain cases community can judge it. They go straight to police station. From police, they send you straight to the court. From to the court, assault, murder, rape. That is not community discussion.
Okay.
So even within the school, there are certain things, the same thing you afraid of. If you are not careful, that all of the children supposed to be developed, all of the children are true. That is my mind. I'm saying all of this, God is my witness. All of these children that I have, do you know that I can even struggle to send a child home, even if they owing the little money that is supposed to pay?
Yeah, yesterday
Even the way they school.
I remember you told me something. You were telling me something. You said, Bridget, let God forgive me because I was compelled to send one of my kids home. I remember you telling me that yesterday.
I felt bad. Now the school is coming to a close. Do you know that even up to now, I'm owing 2 teachers?
Okay. Yeah, so let's just go to the point because I want to conclude around here.
Yeah, I beg you. I'm not really in that kind of attitude, just going against the children that I want to develop. But in the other way, you have to be careful. So in that light, I was pushed on the wall. Right now, we are not less than 45,000 up. We're not getting. Why? Because we are giving exam, and some of the parents say, "Oh, our children say you prepare the test on the paper, we'll bring them, they take the test there from there." But someone else will say, "Oh, but next year I will send my children to different school because they know they owe me."
Okay.
So if I'm going to stop and putting the children outside from third period, fourth period, by now, I'm getting, but I bear that patient up to now. So I make the system know that we are weak. We're not weak.
I got
But
you.
I have that sympathy. I'm saying all of it. You know me. I'm not running the school because I just want money. God is my witness. God is my witness. I have the mind for the Liberian children to be better. I have the mind for it. For him.
Okay. All
I
right.
have the mind.
So, Pastor, thank you. So, at this point, we will be giving our recommendations and conclusions. I just want the viewers to know that this platform, we don't judge. We give our points and our views. And then you, the audience, you listen and take what is right and throw away the none. Keep the sense. Because we give our views to what it is. We are not government. We are not legal people here. We speak on what we understand. That's why it's an opinion conversation. So when we put different ideas together, we give you what we think is right. Then you can analyze. Like right now, we are going to be analyzing all that we've been putting and hauling and see what is each and every one of us suggestion on how this issue can be resolved. I got my point. Like my point is clear. I don't support it. Okay? Grace got her point. Pastor got her point. So please listen as we conclude this conversation today on what we have to say and what recommendation we are requesting and how we think this can be solved. So let's get to Sis Veronica to give us her parting statement and her advice plus recommendation.
Okay, I just want to appreciate everyone for taking out the busy schedule to be here, and we all here to express our grievances and understanding to the Liberian education sector, right? To know what is right and what is wrong, to put some method in place that is necessary when it comes to education. So, Grace, thank you, and Pastor Steven, thank you, Breakthrough, and I hope people will learn from our little argument because we argue, we agree, we disagree, and we put things in place that the comment section will be like fourth, and people will learn from us. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. So, says Grace, you were on the 100% negative side, so your point is very important. Now, we want to know what are your recommendations to stop this expression and how you think it can stop. The floor is yours now.
Yeah, the reason you see school pushing expansion is because the social security, or how you call it, parental care from the government angle, social protection for the children is not strong, right? And the only last option you see school will want to have is to expel children. So I want to recommend to our government, from the Ministry of Education, to put in a mechanism that when school are at a breach where they can't take any other decision, there should be an option from the government for well-trained people to be able to work with kids in these various schools that are on the list of being expelled. Recommendation 1. Recommendation 2, that school proprietors should have a very strong PTA to be able to work along with in order to mitigate or to lower the risks of children not having access to good quality education because of fear of being expelled. 2. Thirdly, my last recommendation is school should have that psychosocial or rehabilitation center to work with students that have depression issues. When the children, there's a research that shows that 10 years from now, because of the Civil War, I think we're already in the 10 years, Liberians, most of our brain will have problems and anger issue will increase because of the Civil War. Some of these children is past, is genetic, the anger we the parent have, we pass it over to our children, they go to school with it and get the teachers hard time. But when we have a psychosocial or a counseling unit, the parent can pay for that unit. If you feel your child need counseling, you just go there, that's another parallel. You have special class with that counselor to be able to deal with you, to stop the expression. Expression is not good. Most of our children are suffering with that fear. Please, I'm begging all of us. Let us look at it from that perspective. Thank you.
Okay. So, Pastor, you can go ahead.
All right. Yeah, Richie, thank you so much for the opportunity for this platform. And by the grace of God, I've been following, and what I've just been doing every time you are on, I just have to share. I will not firstly lie. The first thing here is I will want to appeal to every institution that the patient that we have created, let it be double for the betterment of the children that we have. Let the patient be double. Another thing that is, if we get rid of looking at school to make profit, will make it better. If we look at the school and get rid of that mindset, making profit, you will just be after making profit, and you are not really looking at upgrading the life of the children. So I want to encourage all of us that have institutions. We should not just focus on what coming to you, but what will be the outcome of the children tomorrow. And my recommendation to all institutions is that let's have a section within our schools to make it very strong. Let's pay on it that we will have a counseling section that will be very active and strong. Then to the government side, I will also recommend that the government also should have a center for counseling, that the various school will be working with them. That if the school, quote unquote, by themselves try to cancel that child and there was no change, that the government angle, they are stronger than individual, they will send that child there for that child to be counseled and be sent back to the school. But while we are doing this, there should always be a room to remove the person until a total change is restored. I am not saying getting rid of, sparing the person for the person to be totally become the kind of person that you wanted to be. So once again, I want to say thanks to all of you. Thank you for your input, and I receive your encouragement to us. Definitely, I'm a father. I'm not just a school, I'm a real father, and I love children. I was against school. Seriously, for me to open school, I was against it because I saw it as a total distraction to my ministry. What I wanted to open. I started with pharmacy, from pharmacy before hospital, they can allow me to go. But the Lord said, hey, my son, start with this to help impact the Liberian children. So my heart is ready to them. Even the parents are here, if you get to some of them, you get ask them, if pastor really rough with you people, they will tell you it. So I encourage all of us, let's be soft with our students, with our parents, so that they can be able, all of us, to develop the children.
All right. Okay, Pastor, thank you very much. And my own conclusion here is the last question, says Grace asks, I think was just where I wanted us to go, and thank God she just went there. Why are we opening school, or why school running? Why government give lessons to schools? Because the capacity of the student, of the citizen, needs to be developed positively. Yeah. So everybody spoke good. Everybody point was fine. And I appreciate the fact that Pastor Momo went the other way to balance the conversation, because I've been struggling on who will go the other way to keep the idea coming out. If everybody were going to go to no, we're not going to have anything to say today. So I was just praying to God, let someone just come that other way who believe this, so we all can bring our ideas that will lead to this. I think, like Sis Veronica said, and make real sense, if the school do everything to prove the student right of going against the handbook, and the school invite the parent on campus and inform the parents with tangible proof that this is what your child is doing and this thing have the potential to damage our system. The school have the proof that, oh, this boy brought gun, or he brought knife, or your daughter smoking, she's doing this in the classroom, and other students have been victimized. Look at some of our students trying to do it. They call the parents, advise the child, and the parents can't go in line with what the school want to do to get the child prepared. The school should turn the child over to the parent. The school turn the child over, because the parent is the owner of the child, not the school. Then the school should do a recommendation to the government, explaining to the government that everybody said government should have a particular arm. Explain to the government that we had a student in our institution with this behavior, but the parents, they are trying to cover it up. So we turn the child over to the parent, but this is the name of the child. So if the government really want this child to go back to school, needs to get to these parents and tell them, say, oh, we got record from a school that your daughter or your son was attending. This is his or her behavior. So we have come in to talk to this, because this is our citizen, like your child, but our citizen here. If their child don't learn tomorrow, he or she could become Zogo and start juking people with knife in the street. So it's our responsibility as government to know what is the issue with this child. So say you didn't agree with the school, we have come to get the child and know what is the issue with this child. I think that would be something that is really going to help the issue with expulsion. Okay, so that child will be given to the parents. After some time, if the child come back from honor training and the child have trained, the child can come back in the school to continue. So, secondly, the ministry need to set up a committee, the sixth grade said, that can investigate properly student expulsion issues. If a student is expelled from school, if that student is not certified or that parent, they are not certified with the expulsion, that parent and the student can write the ministry and say, oh, my daughter was expelled from this school, but I believe the school never did due diligence to verify the real issue of my child. They just push the girl or push the boy outside. So the ministry, that committee from the Ministry of Education will come in that school and tell them, say, you expel one of our citizens. And this expulsion you gave our citizens, the parents are not comfortable with it. They said the child never did it. Do you have evidence to show us that this child is corrupting other student minds or doing negative things to your school? If that school can prove it to the government, then the government has a way. If that mental issue, the government can rescue that situation now and take that child to an area where that child can be handled under government, because the parents responsible for the child, but the government is the owner of every human being in the country. Today, the Zogos will get on the street that the government paying police to be running behind Zogos. The parents are not running behind Zogos. That the government spending that money. So the government should start arresting this thing from the beginning stage. So I think all the suggestions that we gave was really logical, and we hope the Minister of Education, we hope some of our educational friends, partners that are looking at what we're saying here, we try to look at this expulsion issue. The question was, how does it affect our society? Expelling students and allowing them go forever with the expulsion destroy our society in the near future, because you are going to have empty-headed girls, empty-headed boys running through the street that will be dangerous to other peaceful citizens, like says Grace was saying. Because the Bible said, the pastor also said, an empty-headed man or an empty head is the devil's workshop. So if you don't have anything up in the head of the student, what do you expect? That student will start juking people, jacking people left to Bonavent Junction, Broad Street, juking women, taking their cell phone, running away, because nothing in her head. She got expelled when she was in 9th grade, so she didn't go to school again. She became wayward child, prostitutions. Then the country start going backward. So instead of paying more money to police to be running behind Zogos, the government now should start arresting the situation from in the school. So parents, if your child gets expelled from any school, the best you can do is go to the school, make sure the school proves to you that this child was expelled for a genuine reason with tangible evidence. Without tangible evidence, take their complaint to the Ministry of Education. Let education get into it to get to the bottom, because we don't want our Liberian students to be kicked out of school because of various issues. So I want to give God the glory for all that have shared our conversation today. We are sorry for the time. This discussion is really controversial. So that's why it went this long. But normally our program go for 1 hour, 1 hour, 10 minutes, we are done. But today we went close to 1 hour, 2 hours, few minutes now, so we are closing right now. So I want to say thanks to every one of you for joining. I really appreciate that God will give us more strength. And this coming Saturday, the topic we are going to be talking on is, how do we evaluate a good school? To say, oh, this school are the best school in the country, this school. How do we do that evaluation? And says Grace got major part to play based on things that she said today. How do we evaluate? Oh, this school are the best school in the country. Oh, this school are the best school. There are some schools in the backyard that got better education system than some big school that charging $1 million.
Yeah.
Says Grace, do you agree with that? There are some schools that in some community, they don't have big name, they don't have money to go on TV and be posting themselves. But when you go to the campus, the system is in order. but people don't know them. So how do we evaluate the standard of a school to say this school is the best school? Is it because the school get plenty Grenadier boy and Grenadier girls? Is it because the school proprietor get money, she can go on TV and say, oh, I'm working with government? Is that how we grade school? So we are going to come up with those facts to tell our listeners what is the way we think school should be graded, to know that this school is the best school and this school is the best school. And it's going to circle similar to what we were discussing here today with some guidelines and standard. We believe principals, very soon principals will be tuning into this conversation to know, students will be tuning in, parents will be tuning in to give their views, and we'll start attracting some relevant people. Thank you once again, people. I want to say I salute you people for responding to this. God bless us all, and we pray that next week, Saturday, we will go for just 1 hour because our conversation will be very straight to the point. Bye-bye from my end.
Thank you.
Thank you.